answering your social media marketing questions for the next 20 minutes in real time. We had some great questions written in today. We're going to be talking all about TikTok live streaming. We've got some questions about Instagram. We've got all the good, fabulous, wonderful things. So we're going to dive in, but if you're joining me live, please feel free to drop your questions into the comment box or the chat box right now. We'll get as many answered as possible, and what we don't get to today, we will save for next week. If you're on my replay, please drop your social media questions on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the social media platforms. I am answering your questions. We're going to talk about live streaming and all the fun, fabulous things today. I would love to get those answered for you. And you are also welcome to drop them on any of my YouTube videos or social media posts, and I'll save them for these live streams as well as answering them wherever you post. All right, let's dive in and let's have today's conversation all about TikTok live streaming for our first question. So we had somebody write in and said that they have 42,000 followers. Congrats. But you barely pull in 3 live stream views. What can you do to fix this? Now, this can be for a couple of different reasons. It, of course, depends on the account type that you have. So if you have something that is more of a personal brand where people are really engaged with you and who you are, they're going to show up more for your live streams. If you're doing something more along the lines of educational content where you are not showing yourself on camera, or I recently got a lot of questions about people who have like meme accounts. Those types of things, people are not really going to show up for live streaming for. So if that's the case, you're going to have to make your brand a little more personal. I have not looked at your account. I do not know what your account is. So right now I'm going off of kind of like the main overarching themes. So if you are getting some people showing up, that means that it is going to be showing people on their FYP. So as they're scrolling through, they will see your live stream. This is where they decide if they're going to join you or not. So when people are scrolling through on their feed and they see a live stream, you get literally 1 second for them to decide if they want to stay with you. So if you are not engaging them in some way, they will keep scrolling. So you need to make sure you are grabbing onto people's attention within that first second, no matter when they are joining you, which means you have to be engaged. You need to be looking at your camera. You need to be talking. You need to be animated. Best practices are showing things. So like if you can hold something up and show them, if you can explain it, leaning forward, leaning back, doing things to get their attention is really going to make all the difference. If they just see someone who is not smiling and not looking happy talking to the camera, they're going to keep scrolling because remember, we're on TikTok. This is the land of big and bold. People are looking for those engaging videos. And so if you're not doing something active and you're not moving around, you're not talking with your hands, you're not looking excitedly at the camera, they will keep going because they have more interesting things to look at. So your live streams on TikTok need to be very engaged. It needs to show that people are there and interactive and engaging. You need to be answering questions. You need to be giving them some type of valuable content. And I do recommend making sure that your voice is a little more excited, that your face is kind of smiling and happy, that you are looking engaged at the camera and you are not necessarily kind of like quiet. I'm an introvert, so I've had to learn how to do this. You may have to learn how to do this too. But another great way to make sure you get people showing up for your live streams is to plant people in your audience. Make sure people know you're going to go live. Post a TikTok about it. Make sure your friends are coming to join you. That will show social proof that people are there to engage with you, and you want to make sure that you are getting people there for that reason. Now, a pro tip here, I do recommend planning a live stream every single week at the same time. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. or every Wednesday at 6 p.m. You want to make sure it's the same day, same time to train your people to come join you. Then promote it on your other social media platforms, on your website, in your newsletter, all the great things to get people to show up. It does take time to grow those live streams, but the more you do it, the more frequently you do it, and the more value you give to it, the better you are going to be doing. And if you can give a lot of really great value while you're live streaming, they will show up more and more and more. So great question. Good luck on your live streams. And if you've got more specifics, please feel free to write those in. I would love to get those answered for you. Michelle wrote in and said, such awesome tips. Instagram is such a beast to wrestle with. Learned a lot from you in this video. We were actually breaking down the Instagram algorithm, main feed, and stories as we're taking a deep dive look into the algorithm in 2021 and what you can be doing to get seen more on Instagram, especially as other platforms are coming in to kind of take over and rival their position as the leader of the social platforms. So this is definitely going to be a great deep dive look if you jump in. Michelle, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here, and I'm glad that you could learn something from the video. We're continuing this series with a brand new video on Friday, and the final version or the final video in this series will be dropping on Monday. But then we're going to continue to talk about how you can be growing on Instagram. So if you've got questions, I would love for you to go ahead and drop your questions so we can get those answered for you. VP jumped in and said, I just joined Clubhouse today, and this is helpful to start up. Thank you. We were talking all about our Clubhouse bios. And they're extremely different from the other social platforms. So there's so much leverage you can get out of your Clubhouse bio. If you have not watched that video, make sure you check it out. It really makes a world of difference over in Clubhouse. Thank you, VP. I appreciate you being here. If you are joining me live and you've got questions, go ahead and drop those now. I would love to get them answered for you. Hey, thank y'all for jumping in. I appreciate you guys being here today. Krista wrote in, she has a very specific question. She wanted to know why she's having trouble adding more than 10, 15-second clips to her Instagram stories. So when it comes to Instagram stories, they are not going to let you put a ton of video there. That's not what that part of the platform is for. Now, I had a conversation with Krista, and Krista told me she was trying to add up to, I think it was like 12, 15 minutes of video. That's a no-go on Instagram. If you have that much video, that needs to go into IGTV. No one is going to sit through a very long story. So you can only have a couple of minutes, maybe, of stories on Instagram at any given time, because this is short form video and photo content. People just want that in the moment connection, but you cannot put a ton there. That's just going to drive people crazy. In fact, the more you put there, the lower your watch rate is going to go, unless you have a highly engaged audience. So if you've got a video that's more than well, let's break this down. If you have a video under 1 minute, you can put it on your main feed. If you have a video that is under 30 seconds, you can actually put it on Reels, and that's doing really well right now. So you can put that video on Reels if it's under 30 seconds. Not everybody has 30 seconds. Some people only have 15. If you have a video that's under 1 minute, it can go on your main feed. If it's over 1 minute, up to an hour, you can put it on IGTV, which is where I suggest you do it, because they have already said they're working toward monetization on IGTV. So you really want to lay the groundwork for that now. You can put some short video clips on stories, but I definitely recommend you either post to your main feed or to IGTV or to Reels and then send it to your stories, because that's just going to extend the life of your content. So if you've got longer form video content, IGTV is the place. You cannot be putting a ton of stuff on your stories. Keep your stories for more in the moment things that you are relating to your people on, and then send them over to your other fantastic stuff. All right. I do see your questions coming in, friends. We are going to get there, but we're getting through the ones that came in earlier this week first. So keep dropping your questions, and I will be happy to get those answered for you. We had some great comments jump in this week. Bet me a date. So helpful. I am really new to Instagram and I find it so confusing. Well, I am so glad that this was helpful to you. Alona jumped in and said, as a new user of Instagram, I thank you for your generosity. This is so helpful. And then we had some more great comments on that video as well. So y'all, thank you so much for jumping in on that one. We did have a great question this week about live streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. And we specifically talk about doing that through programs like BeLive and Melon here on my channel. And this particular video was on BeLive. They wanted to know, does this work on iPad? So right now, this is going to be one of those things where you do have to go live through a desktop. Most of these live streaming platforms do make you go live through desktop just because there's so many things inside of the program. I may have some insider information on beta tests for some things that are happening. So if you do want to run your live stream through something other than your desktop, stay tuned. Big news is coming. But right now you do have to go live to produce your show through the desktop version, but your guests can join you from a phone or an iPad. So if you do want to go live while you're out and about, have somebody else produce your show from a desktop while you are off doing whatever you need to do. But again, stay tuned because we're in beta for some cool stuff over in the BeLive world right now. All right, moving forward. Love the openness about the tips. Always learning a lot from you. Six-figure business coaching. Always love seeing you. Thank you so much for jumping in and checking out that behind-the-scenes breakdown of the algorithm and how it actually works on Instagram, specifically in this video with Reels, IGTV, and your live streaming on your Instagram page and how you can grow through that. True Stature jumped in and said, what I appreciate this video is that it is for 2021 beginners. I have often felt like the Instagram tutorials I come across never target people just starting. You have great info as well. New subscriber. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining. I really wanted to make sure that we broke down what it would be like to be a new Instagrammer in 2021. And everything I say inside of these videos, the deep dive series or the overview, really apply to anybody who's just jumping into the platform, but also anybody who is established and just wants to work with the algorithm and the way it's working in 2021. So I'm super glad that I can help you out, and thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Our last question that came in this week that I want to chat about before we get to our live questions is can we only do Instagram lives with our phones? Is there a tablet we can use so that I can see the comments better? So Teresa, we do have to go live through our phones right now, but if you need something else to be seeing it on, what you can do is a sneaky little workaround. So live stream through your phone and then have your tablet next to you and go on through another account, click on to watch, make sure your volume is all the way down. So you're on a secondary account and you're just going in and you are going to be able to see your live stream. You don't even have to just use a tablet. You could use another phone. If you've got like an old phone that doesn't have your data, that just has a Wi-Fi connection, you can do it in there. But they also allow you to view your live streams on desktop. So if you want, you can set up your computer right behind your phone, have your phone right here. You can do your live streams, and then you could just look around to read those comments off to the side. So you have different ways that you can be reading comments live. You can like hold up an extra phone or a tablet while you are live streaming, and you can just go through and look at that, and you will be good to go and have that ability to kind of scroll through a little bit easier without having any issues of it moving your phone or whatever. So you've got lots of cool things that you can do with that to work around, but right now we are live streaming singularly through our phones. I do predict, and I have predicted this for a while, right now, Instagram is slowly moving a lot of their features over to desktop. The way that we are interacting with things, the way we're posting on things, you can do a lot from desktop now. It has not made the switch yet, but I do predict that they are working on vertical live streaming through your desktop, and that will be something in the next year or so we will be able to do. So stay tuned on that one. That again is just my opinion as somebody who is closely watching the social media platforms. Right now their API is closed, so you cannot broadcast through a third-party app like BeLive or Melon. So you want to make sure that you are actively broadcasting through your phone and then kind of doing your workarounds, but stay tuned. I have a feeling things are coming. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump into a couple of the questions that came in today as we were here hanging out. If you've got questions, if you're joining me live, I would love to get them answered for you. All of my fabulous people who are here today. Let me go ahead and jump in. All right. Oh gosh, I see some of my book fans are here. Hey, if y'all are hanging out in the book world, I would love to get your questions answered. We're going to be doing a live stream in about 45 minutes. So you can come ask me on that one. For now, we're sticking to social media marketing questions. So if you've got questions on growing your social media platforms, I would love to get those answered for you. S. Snakers just jumped in and said, how do you grow on YouTube? This is a huge question, and I have tons of videos on this here on my YouTube page, so make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. There's tons of tutorials on how to do this, but a couple of things that you really should be paying attention to are consistency. So you want to make sure that you are posting at a consistent rate. So once a week or twice a week is probably going to be really good. Same day, same time. Train your people to show up to watch your videos. Make sure you have a very specific niche for your platform. I know some people right now are saying you don't have to niche down. That's not true. You need to niche down. People need to be able to come to your YouTube page and know exactly what you're going to be doing for them, whether it is teaching them something or you are entertaining them in some way. So it needs to be very, very specific and very clearly spelled out in your graphics, in your headers, in your thumbnails, in the titles of the things that you are creating. So be very specific about what your YouTube channel is about. And if you have more than one interest, do more than one YouTube page. We just said that I've got people here from my author life, but this is my social media education life. I don't mix the two. So you don't see me talking about my fiction books here, and you don't really see me talking too much about marketing over there unless it's in relation to how authors can grow. So if you have different interests, keep those different things separate. Make sure you're niching down, make sure you are consistent with your posts, and then make sure you have really good thumbnails and really good titles. So you need to do your research, see what's working, and then post. Again, I have tons of resources on this here on my YouTube page and in my courses, so make sure you check those out. kmrobinson.com will give you lots of info on there, but those are a couple of good things to get started with to grow here on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I see a lot of things coming in about my books. All of those we can answer over on my author platform later on, friends. Danielle says, yesterday I had a TikTok video jump from 300 views to 1,100, which for me is a lot of views in an hour and then not much sense. Is that common? Big jumps and then nothing. Yes. Yes, it is. So here's the deal with the TikTok algorithm. The algorithm is looking for content that fits the person that's on the platform right now. So they're going to be looking for the best possible videos for that person. They've learned that person, what they like, what they interact with, and then they serve them those videos because their goal is to keep them there longer so they can show more ads, so they can make more money. So if there is somebody who likes the stuff that you're putting out there, they're going to show it to that person. If that person interacts with it, they're going to show it to another person and another person and another person. Let's do some easy math here. Let's say that you post a video and TikTok shows it to 10 people. If 10 out of 10 of those people watch through most of it, maybe leave a like, maybe leave a comment, that tells the algorithm, ooh, this is interesting. Let's show it to more people. And they'll show it to maybe 25 people. Then based on what that 25 people is going to do, what that group of 25 will do, they will then decide to show it to more or less people. So sometimes you will get a video dropped to a person, maybe quickly after you post it, maybe months after you post it, and that person will interact with it. They'll send it to a couple more people. They'll interact with it. If it's a night where people are like, yeah, I'm here for this, it's going to get kicked out to a lot of people. Then once it starts slowing down, they're good. They're moving on to the next thing. So let me give you an example. I had a video I created as a sponsored post for an author on my author platform talking about her book. It did well, and then it dropped off. Like 2 or 3 months later, one night, it randomly sent it to a person who liked it. And then it's kicked it out to a couple more people and they liked it. And it kicked out to a couple more people and they liked it. And within 20 minutes, I had 30,000 views on that video that was like 3 months old. After that point, it started to slow down because it kind of sent it out to that big group of people that were going to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then it slowed down and then it went back to its normal thing. It's because it hit the algorithm at the right time. The right people were on, people were engaging and interacting with it, and it kicked it out to 30,000 new people. That particular video is up to 100,000 views right now. I literally just looked at it this morning, and that is going to be one of those things where it just comes down to hitting at the right time in the algorithm, and it will kick it out throughout the course of a couple of days, weeks, even months to find the right audience. So just because a video doesn't do well right off the bat doesn't mean it's not going to do well in 3 months. Doesn't mean that your videos that do super well right now are going to do well in the future. It really comes down to finding the right audience at the right time. And as new people join the platform and are discovering new areas that they're interested in, they're going to see more and more of your content. So it's kind of an ebb and flow. It's a cycle when it comes to the TikTok algorithm, but you will see massive spikes at times and then slow it back down. So you get a lot of feast and famine on TikTok, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm super excited that you got that jump in your numbers. Keep going. And that shows, by the way, pro tip for you here. If you have a video that does that has that massive spike, that is something that is going to resonate with your people. Make more videos very, very similar to it with little twists on it, and you will do well with a lot of your content in the future. So just keep that in mind. When you see those spikes, that tells you algorithm likes this, people like this type of content, make more of this, grow more on the platform. All right. How do you get more followers on TikTok? Consistency and niching down. Basically what we were just talking about on YouTube. You want to make sure you're posting multiple times per day. You want to make sure that you are posting every single day. The algorithm is looking for consistency. You want to make sure that you're interacting with any comments you get. You want to make sure that you are leaving comments on other people's videos. Not asking them to come look at yours, just leaving nice comments about what they are doing. You want to start conversation. TikTok and any social media platform is looking for people who are having conversations because that keeps people locked on the platform longer. If I ask you a question on your video and then you're taking the time to answer and then I'm answering you back and then you're answering me back, we're both on the platform longer. If you are a conversation starter, they are going to pay attention to you in the algorithm. So create good content that people want to see, post consistently, make sure you're posting daily a couple of times, and then make sure you're starting those conversations and really finding your group of people because that's going to lead to more and more and more views and interactions for you. There's tons and tons of tutorials on this on my YouTube page though, so make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell and you go through those because that will really help you out. Let me see. How do I get more views on my TikTok? I had a video with 700 views, but then my next video got 4. Oh, Sophie, this happens. This is a thing. So sometimes it comes down to your content's different and people didn't like it so much. Try something else. Sometimes it means that it hasn't picked it up in the algorithm yet. Sometimes it means the algorithm is a little bit off. Right now, the algorithm's a little bit off. They are focused on certain people and not other people. You're going to find that some things are big numbers and some things are not. You're going to find it matters when people are around to engage with it. So test, test, test. If you had something that bombed, it's okay. It's one video. Try again. Try something different. Try a spin on it. If you had one that had really good views, like your 700 views there, what did you do in that? Analyze that video. What was it about and how was it different than the one that you posted that only got 4? Pay attention to that and then try to replicate what you did in the good video to then get more views. Also pay attention to your hashtags. Hashtags definitely help the algorithm to decide who they're going to show your videos to. Do not use big hashtags. Hashtag FYP should not ever be used. Millions of people use that. Nobody's going to see you there. Use small niche down hashtags that are very specific to what you're doing. So I know, Sophie, you hang out in the book world. So hashtag book talk, still probably going to be a little big for you. So narrow it down. Get smaller things like YA Lit might be good for you. It has less views. So you want to look for videos that have in the thousands of views, not the millions of views. And TikTok actually tells you. So you can go check those out and just kind of rotate through your hashtags and see where you can find your niche in there. And then just make sure you're interacting with people because that'll get people to come look at your content, which will help you out there. And don't post your videos too close together. I recommend posting about 5 to 7 times per day, but space them out by about an hour. All right. Let's see. I think we basically hit everything today, and we are just over time. So I'm super glad that all of you joined me today. Thank you so much for coming and asking such great questions. We are here every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, answering your social media marketing questions in real time. If you've got questions, please leave them in the comments below. That really helps me out to be able to screenshot them and then answer them next week for you. But you can leave them on any of the videos or any of my social media posts, and I will save them for next week. As always, we are continuing our conversation on Instagram. So new Friday video will be a deep dive look at Instagram as we continue to break down how the algorithm works with the different sections of Instagram. We're wrapping up our deep dive look on Monday, but then we actually have some cool new features on Instagram we're going to be talking about going forward past that. I am so excited for this one. It's going to be lots of fun. But if you've got questions on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, live streaming, Facebook, anything related to social media, we are getting those answered for you. So go ahead and drop those questions down below, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, I hope you all have a great day and stay inspired.